of those. I need 3 of these fatty acids. They might be the same, they probably are not the same. The N numbers are probably different, there might be some double bonds. So they're probably different. Essentially, we don't care.
So those 3 are lipids?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right now, they're just fatty acids. But like with the monosaccharides, we had to combine them and make them into one molecule. We have to do that here. A lipid is just one molecule. But unlike with the carbohydrates, to combine these, we need another molecule. It's called glycerol. Glycerol. I know you thought you signed up for microbiology, but it's really just chemistry. Yeah, you got fooled. Glycerol looks like an odd molecule, 3 carbons, 3 hydroxyls. Well, that part is correct. I'm clearly leaving off carbon has 4 bonds. I didn't put in the other bonds. Well, hydrogen is the filler material of the universe. So to fill up these other bonds, just start sticking in hydrogen. Now it looks a lot better. I actually read somewhere that hydrogen makes up 90% of the universe. And because of stuff like that. It's not really doing anything, it's just taking up space. So what we have now are 3 fatty acids and glycerol. The next step should be really obvious. We have hydroxyls all over the place. Start taking out water. That's what's really nice. We keep doing the same thing over and over again. Take out water, the same rules, hydroxyl on one side, and again, it doesn't matter which side. Hydroxyl on one side, hydrogen on the other. So you're taking out water, except 3 times. Taking out water 3 times. And you're leaving behind oxygen 3 times. So it is the same reaction that you've already been doing. And connected. Pardon me? Oh, love required. Who's going to pay for it?
Yeah, Bill. Some Bill.
I'll let you talk to the school president.
I'll do that.
She is recommending that students all be given Windows tablets.
Just for your class, I mean, man, I'm going through a lot of paper.
Sorry.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
So this is now a lipid. So 3 fatty acids plus glycerol. Glycerol, remember, 3 carbons, 3 hydroxyls. And you link them up. 3 condensation reactions. So it's a lipid, also called a triglyceride.
This is called a triglyceride.
Yes, and they're synonymous. So a lipid is a triglyceride.
Does that have anything to do with 3 fatty acids?
That's everything to do with it.
Okay.
That's why tri. Yeah. the amount of variation is enormous. We've already spoken about for one fatty acid, 4 to 8 carbons, double bonds here, there, and everywhere. And for every single one of those, we could do the same thing all over again here. And for every single one of those, do it one more time down here. We're talking not just millions, probably tens of millions of different combinations. And not all of them are viable lipids, but a lot of them are. Yes? They all are, because you're taking out water. Yeah, yeah. Same thing we were doing Tuesday with the carbohydrates, which is nice. It's the same reaction over and over again. Yes? I'm sorry, what? Simple? What symbol? Simple. Oh yeah, if you can do one fatty acid, you can do 3. What? Okay. No, we don't need to know the different variations. Just know the basic fatty acid, which is what I did. And then if you can do it once, you can do it 3 times. And then add glycerol. I've got a feeling I didn't answer your question.
Like, you need to know about like the monoglyceride, so that's why.
No.
Right,
Yeah.
you need to just, yeah, to know.
Triglyceride. Triglyceride. No, that's all I gave you. Triglyceride. Now, there is actually one variation. Now, keep in mind, I guess I better repeat it. There's a ton of stuff that I skip over in the textbook. If I skip it, you can skip it. She was asking about monosaccharides and disaccharides, monoglycerides, diglycerides. I didn't cover that. So if I didn't cover it, don't worry about it. It's just stuff that we cover in class, read the book on it. But if I didn't do it, then you don't have to. I think it's only fair.
Then it's not be a test too, right?
Pardon me?
No, we don't have it in the test too, right?
Yeah, it won't be on the test, yeah. Generally, I know some teachers say everything in the book, you gotta do it, but I just feel if it's not important enough to talk about in class, it's not important enough to put into a midterm. So I have to talk about it, or it's gotta be in the book on what I talked about. It's gotta be some topic we've covered. And there is stuff I'd skip, I mean, I've always said it. If I skip it, you can skip it. Okay, there is one variation I do want to give you. So this is your basic lipid. 3 fatty acids of some type, saturated, unsaturated, we don't know, plus glycerol. But what I want to do now is to take off one fatty acid, and this actually is a diglyceride. It does exist, but that's not where I'm going. What we need now is another chemical group. You haven't had one for about 40 seconds, so time for a chemical group. Phosphate, it's a major chemical group. You'll see it all ordered. PO4 with a -3 charge. Off the record, there's something unusual about that molecule. Any guesses? Anybody know what that is? What's unusual there?
5 bonds.
Pardon me?
5 bonds.
5 bonds. The phosphorus has 5 bonds here. 2, 3, 4, 5. It violates the octet rule. Now, I say that, you should have had chemistry. So it violates the octet rule. But it's perfectly legitimate. It works. So it's unusual, but it still works. Rats. So anyhow, phosphate we'll be seeing a lot of. But with all these negative charges, There's lots of hydrogen in any type of organism, including us. Lots of hydrogens are floating around. You might get that. You might get that. You might get that. You could have 1, 2, or 3 hydrogens attached. Or none, or none. So I'm going to take this phosphate with all 3 hydrogens. So we'll attach the phosphate to the diglyceride. And we should already be getting highly suspicious. Where's my out here? Because we've got hydroxyls again. So, condensation. Take out water. So clearly a variation of what we just did with the triglyceride. This is called a phospholipid. This is a phospholipid. You might wonder why am I making a point of this? I mentioned that lipids make up large components of cell membranes, specifically phospholipids. It's this molecule that is actually making up most of cell membranes.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. It's the phospholipids that make up most of cell membranes. They are lipids, but specifically phospholipids. So for a possible midterm, be prepared to draw a triglyceride. But in honesty, it looks worse than it is. Like I said, if you can do 1 fatty acid, you can do 3. And then you add glycerol, 3 carbons, 3 hydroxyls, and then condensation.
Is that on a midterm?
Could be. Something will be.
And that's a diglyceride, right?
I
Did
mean,
you say di? It's a di.
triglyceride.
Tri? Would you say di? The other one?
Well, because when I
The
took
last
off
part.
1 fatty acid, that gave me a diglyceride.
Yeah.
And then I added the phosphate to the diglyceride.
Oh yeah, because then there was 2, and then you
Exactly.
add another one that's tri.
Exactly. Yeah. Any questions on lipids? Okay, done with that.